you can see right here, this is where I grafted a different pear. It's like one of these little tiny pears, like a really sweet one. It's like an apple almost. I grafted branches to this tree, all over the tree, because this pear tree would only produce maybe at best 1 million blossoms, but only about 5 fruit every year since we moved here. It's an old tree, you can kind of see. And I pruned it, kind of made it so the kids can climb all up through the middle. I pruned the branches so they're nice and strong. And see, here's another one, another graft. And now I lost track of where all the grafts are. Here's another one. I just took like 5 or 6 different pear varieties and grafted them all over randomly, so that when the pollinators came back, they would be able to cross-pollinate. This particular variety of pear was not self-fertile, so it needed a buddy. So when I started grafting different pear varieties to it, we started getting a lot more pears. So there's a pear, there's one. They're much more on the tree. They kind of blend in right now, but they're all over the tree now. Here's a pear, a couple of them. There's one. So the first thing I tried was just buying different varieties of pear. So here's a different variety of pear. And then this one by the cactus is another one. And a couple of them I planted didn't survive, or they're not doing very well. It's kind of tricky growing in an old sand dune. So this sand, and no matter how much biomass and wood chips and stuff I add to the sand, it just gets absorbed and goes into the sand, I think. But anyway, if you want to make your tree more fruit productive, especially an old timer like this one that can be loaded with fruit, try grafting different varieties to the branches using a Z graft or a cleft graft or whatever you can come up with. And pears and apples are pretty easy to clone and also pretty easy to graft onto, and then start creating some diversity so that your tree that needs a partner can produce fruit, so that your pear tree is not quite so lonely. So there's a little tidbit for your food forest garden, your little Garden of Eden, little food forest Garden of Eden. Plant buddies for your trees so they produce more fruit. And if they overproduce fruit, thin it out a little bit, and that way you're not demanding so much from the tree. Thanks for watching. Wild Riley out.